Welcome back, everybody, to the Chazz Cast. It's your boy, Chazz, and we are here for another record review. We are sitting here at the end of watching Super Bowl 59? Yeah, Super Bowl Licks. Super Bowl LIX 59. I didn't really watch the whole thing because I really didn't care too much. I definitely didn't even watch the halftime show, but I'm hearing some bad reviews on Kendrick Lamar, and I'm not gonna lie, Kendrick Lamar is nobody I know. I even watched a video of his top hits, 10 hits, and I knew one of them. So wasn't really interested. I watched the first half of the game, and then I was off to doing some other stuff and didn't really care too much. But congratulations to the Philly Eagles and my favorite running back in the NFL, Mr. Saquon Barkley, to win the Super Bowl. And God willing, so be it. Kansas City Chiefs, I'm over you. So, as a Bills fan, yeah, but even just as a football fan, man, I'm over you. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see you guys get crushed. I'm happy to see a coach like Sirianni and Vic Fangio with some aggression and some balls to attack Patrick Mahomes, get 6 sacks, 2 interceptions. That's how you do it. Not little scaredy cat Sean McDermott, bend but don't break defense. It doesn't work against Patrick Mahomes. And now you see it. So that's how it's done. Take notes, Sean McDermott, or take notes, Terry Pegula, and fire Sean McDermott. You heard it here first, folks. But that's my quick wrap-up of the Super Bowl. And that is not why we are here. We are here to break down a new random album of the week. And that album of the week is, as you know, drawn at random. And we'll just get right into it, y'all. The album that we are breaking down this week is... Sorry, you think I'd be prepared? No Rest for the Wicked by Ozzy Osbourne. No Rest for the Wicked is the 5th solo studio album by English heavy metal singer Ozzy Osbourne. It was released in October of 1988 and was reissued on 22nd of August 1995. And again on the 25th of June 2002. The album was certified gold in December of 1988 and has since gone double platinum. Wow. It peaked at number 13 on the Billboard 200. Wow, that's a lot higher than I expected. It was the first album to feature the man Zakk Wylde on guitar, keyboardist John Sinclair, and the first to feature bassist Bob Daisley since Bark at the Moon. And then it says here that the recording debut of Zakk Wylde after firing Jake E. Lee. Osbourne received a demo tape from Wylde and later hired him after an audition. Ozzy Daisley once again was out after this. They had a falling out, and he was replaced again with Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. He had singles with music videos on here: Miracle Man, Crazy Babies, and Breaking All the Rules. The song Miracle Man was a pointed barb aimed at televangelist Jimmy Swaggart. Swaggart had long been critical of Osbourne's music and live performances before himself was involved in a prostitution scandal in 1988. And the song Bloodbath in Paradise references Charles Manson and the Manson family. So interesting takes here. And then I'm funny, of course. Oh, of course. All Music gives it 4 out of 5 stars. Martin Popoff gives it 9 out of 10 stars. But of course, the authorita on all hard rock, nay, heavy metal, nay, music in general, the authorita on all of that, Rolling Stone give it a 1 out of 5 stars. So that must mean this album's great. 9 songs, which is exciting because I'm kind of sick of doing long albums. And there's more songs on the reissues, but we're not doing the reissues. The band consists of Ozzy Osbourne on vocals, Zakk Wylde on guitar, Bob Daisley on bass, Randy Castillo on drums, and John Sinclair on keyboard. It was produced by Roy Thomas Baker and Keith Olsen, except Miracle Man and Devil's Daughter, which were produced solely by Keith Olsen. So it says the 2002 reissue was produced by Bruce Dickinson, but I don't think it's the Bruce Dickinson that we think of. So it went to 200 on the U.S. It went up to 7 on the Finnish charts. And it sold 2 million in America, and it sold 100,000 in Canada. So seems like it was a pretty impactful album. Now, it's impactful for us as metal fans because it is the debut, of course, of one Zakk Wylde, who is one of the greatest guitar players of all time, of course. And I would unabashedly say that he is Ozzy's best guitar player. My favorite Ozzy guitar player, and a lot of the old heads are going to argue Randy Rhoads. And you know what? That's a very, very fair argument. I wouldn't sit there and have a debate or an argument with you about that, because I mean it's not, you're not wrong either, but you know what, I'm not wrong either. So it's just, I guess maybe perhaps different times of when you got into the band or whatnot, right? So some people could argue that Tony Iommi's the best guitar player you ever had, and that's a very fair argument as well. So all right, guys, we are going to get into the review. This is not a first listen. I'm familiar with the hits on this album for sure, and then less familiar with the deep cuts. So that's my take on this album. I know I like these hits. We have got so this is so we will break down, we'll do down the 10 tracks we got here, because this is the expanded version, and it's right here. It's one more song. So we'll break it down to The Liar as well. Looking at the plays here, Miracle Man has 12 million. Every other song is over 1 million other than The Liar. So it's a pretty well listened to album. And this is just the redo one. So I wonder if he has multiple on here. Let's just check why we're here. Let's see here. Let's see what he did here. There, he's got so much stuff right here. Oh my God. No, we're just gonna go back. There's too much here. Sorry, Ozzy. All right, guys. Here we go. We're gonna start with track 1. Your introduction to a young Zakk Wylde. This song is called Miracle Man. This song, right off the rip there, I've always loved Zakk Wylde's sound, and I mean, I still do, obviously, but there's a lot there that's ringing off something different. We got someone in the chat. Hey, what's up? Sorry, I didn't see you there, but I'm here now. The sound on this is actually very reminiscent of Dimebag Darrell, and I know that's interesting because Dimebag, or Zakk went and replaced Dimebag in Pantera recently, right? But that sound isn't as ballsy as Zakk's sound. It's got a little bit more of that mid-range that Dimebag had, and I don't know. I just think it's interesting. It's an interesting take that I just kind of connected here. So let's keep going with Miracle Man. Strike everything I just said, because as soon as that came in there, that is the Zakk sound. Like, I don't know, like maybe it's too much guitar talk, but if you listen to that intro riff, it's very MIDI, and then it's like he almost used two different guitars here, and then he gets in with those chugging riffs. Let's just listen again. Like that song, obviously, and just a good introduction to Zakk Wylde, but I do think, guys, we're going to have to skip a little ahead in this one to get a little bit of a Zakk Attack guitar solo here. There is one in this, I believe, right? Let's try to find it. Good. That is an iconic guitar solo. His sound just cuts through. It's so good. And the speed, but the melodicism of that first part especially, it's like almost you could sing that part. And like, man, what an introduction. Like, he was the perfect replacement for Randy Rhoads. Nothing against Jakey Lee, nothing against Brad Gillis, none of those guys. But he is the right replacement for Randy Rhoads. He's the next step in the evolution. And I'm just a big Zakk Wylde fan. So let's move on to the second track. This one is called Ozzy Song. It's different. He's got a different approach vocally to that. And, above mid chorus. It's not huge, but it's above mid. So, it's a good song. I can see why it's an album track. I don't know if there's a solo. Let's just try to, maybe we can find a solo here. Let's see. That was insane guitar solo. I must say, that was an insane guitar solo. Wow, was that crazy? Like, for real. Like, Zakk Wylde is very. Zakk Wylde is a very good guitar player, and what I can tell, at least from these first couple of songs here, is that Zakk. How do I explain it? Excuse me. Just a couple of ways that Zakk approached the writing in this song. Zakk really breathed life, I feel, into this band, because the way that song just went from like the solo part to a different solo part, or even from that little like, that little like synthesizer, mid part to a different part to a different part. Like that was not very Ozzy at that time. So like that was great. So props to Zakk. Zakk Wylde's already stealing this album. Track 3. This is a very different approach with Zakk. With Zakk coming into the band, writing the music, it's different than a lot of stuff that Ozzy has done in the past, and this one too. So, like, I don't necessarily love this chorus. I think the chorus is a little lazy, but like but that's because Zakk is doing a lot different in the guitar, right? So it just made it maybe more difficult for Ozzy or something he wasn't comfortable with. But like the way Ozzy sings this song is really the first parts are really like different. Like like he's kind of all over the place, which is really cool, like in a good way. Like I said, of course, a little boring, but I mean, it was a single, it was a video, it's a good song. Let's move on. This is Breaking All the Rules. Okay, I got to say, when I was doing my research for this album here, I forgot about this song. Right, I was thinking of Miracle Man. I was thinking of Crazy Babies, and I was thinking of Bloodbath in Paradise, and I forgot this song. And I'll tell you what, I had this on at work, and I'm listening, and this fucking riff hits, and I'm just like, I just totally forgot how good and heavy and deep this song is, and like, I'm just excited to give this a listen with the headphones now. So let's start it over. This is Breaking All the Rules. This is like the first, maybe a little bit on Miracle Man, but this one is like a return to heavy Ozzy, like because Randy was writing a lot of stuff, a little faster, a little more melodic, and same thing with Jake. And then the album Shot in the Dark and stuff was a little more popular. Like this is like Ozzy's return to metal. I mean, look at this cover, for Christ's sakes. That's a metal cover. That is awesome. This is like Ozzy coming back to the Prince of Darkness, and also this riff. Like this could be a Black Sabbath song almost, right? Like yeah, it's got its Zakk isms, right? But this is like awesome, like heavy, kind of slow, dirty, almost like Black Sabbath-y. So props to you guys. Props to you, Zakk. There's always been a comparison with Zakk Wylde and Dimebag Darrell. Love them both. Don't like hate one and like the other one. They're both amazing players for their time. They're both very similar, and they're both in their own ways. I prefer Zakk a little bit. Dimebag is great too. I think if you switch Zakk and Dimebag at this point, both bands still would have been successful. You know what I mean? Like, it's great. And the reason I just said that is guitar solo, that was incredible. That was an incredible guitar solo. Wow, like 80 Zakk Wylde hits different. So like, this is such a good song. I don't know, man. I totally forgot about that song. It's the best song on the album. Like, it is so good. I could just gush about it all the time. Let's move on to, it was like almost like making fun of like Zakk Wylde. So let me give you guys a quick little information about some guitar Johnny there. But like there was a lot of the pinch harmonics in that solo there. So very Zakk Wylde solo. So like I liked this song when I was growing up a lot, but I just realized that was such a badass intro. And then the song's fine. The song's mid, But now we're starting to get in the into the verge here of the songs I'm not familiar with. So let me see. It's been a pretty good side one of this album. Pretty epic side one, to be honest. So now we're flipping the record. This is definitely Zakk Wylde's album. That solo made it better, but pretty. Is that the chorus? That's another verse. Okay, I guess that was the chorus. Okay, no, not good. I can't, guys. I can't do this. You know what? I'm not listening to this one because I don't like piano Ozzy songs, and I don't want that one to ruin the actual album for me and what I'm gonna give it. You know what I mean? So that one's gone. Nope, not doing that one. Okay. So all right. So No Rest from the Wicked from Ozzy Osbourne, featuring Zakk Wylde. Very, very Zakk album, and that's not a bad thing. I think Ozzy let me down at some points on this album. He could have had he could have had some times where he made more catchy choruses, and he let him slide. But Zakk's writing was all over the place, and maybe that's why I don't think Ozzy was necessarily used to it. Again, I'm not trying to like shit on it because I'm not. I did enjoy the album, but if we're gonna give it an objective review, I think Side A is fantastic. Side A you can put up against almost any Ozzy. Side A or side B, but side B is a major letdown. And so, like, you would think that sounds like it's a 50-50, so I'll give it a 5, but I'm not going to give it a 5. I'm going to get a 7. This one's going to get a 7 because side A is so good. Side A is so good. Those songs are so well written. Breaking All the Rules is fantastic. So, like, it brings it well above Fitty Fitty. So it's a 7 out of 10. I'm very happy with that. Ozzy Osbourne, No Rest for the Wicked. Money don't grow on trees. That's a different song. 7 out of 10. And what do you guys think of it? So we're going to get into our review for next week, guys. So we're going to bring up the Discogs. And remember, do you remember? Remember, we don't do Christmas albums now. We only do that during Christmas. We don't do stand-up comedy. We don't do any comedy. We don't do any crazy death metal. We don't do any redos. And I just reserve the right to say, nah, brah. So we're going to hit the random item and see what we get. What is... Come on! Oh, I'm going to have to bring Dave back on here because for some reason I keep getting ZZ Top albums, and I'm making a rule that Dave's got to be on every time we get a ZZ Top album. All right, so for the people listening and not watching, we got the best of ZZ Top, 10 legendary Texas tales from ZZ Top. So, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset. Like, this is old ZZ Top, though, mind you. So this is interesting. We've done the 80s. ZZ Top. So we've done the 80s ZZ Top, and this was released in 1979. And they're quick songs. There's only 10 of them. We got Tush, Waiting for the Bus, Jesus Just Left for Chicago, Francine, Just Got Paid, Lagrange, Blue Jean Blues, Backdoor Love Affair, Beer Drinkers, and Hail Razors, and Heard It on the X. So I know like 4 or 5 of those songs. So, very interesting poll. I mean, it is the point of stuff I'm trying to do. Open myself up. But, I mean, God, that's like 3 ZZ Top albums in like 6 months. Like, yeah, I'm running out of ZZ Top albums. I don't think I have many more. I don't know why they keep picking that. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know in the comments below. Remember, you can get the Chazz Cast on YouTube, the Chazz Cast on Twitch for the live streams, and the Chazz Cast wherever podcasts are found. You know your homework. It is the best of ZZ Top from 1979. And congratulations again to the Philadelphia Eagles. And until then, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.